Better leave it to the professionals.
Last by Dundee, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reviews not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
40.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in shoes. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below, then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It does warm up the algo and does us a real solid. While you're up there, go ahead and head over to either YouTube or Abstract. Both those chats already popping off. Earn your XP. The tippers are always greatly appreciated. We're on Steve's Abstract today if you're looking for that, and the X video feed as well. As always, I'm Cap, joined by my co-host Steve. Never needs financial advice in the show. Crypto is risky, NFTs are risky. Meme coins exception risk can go to zero at a moment's notice. Please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. And know that Steve and I hold tokens we'll talk about from time to time here on the show. We are not financial advisors. Certainly not your financial advisor. Don't join us for that. Just join us for some fun, some information, education along the way. GM Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM, doing well. GM to all the people out there in all the chats. Give us a like, a retweet, a comment on the room. Machiavelli, Diablito, Jambert, congratulations. I will send that over today. I was just going to go USDC, probably base USDC, but we'll get it over your direction as well. Big winner. It's good to see too. You love to see it. You love to see people winning, especially on that. We'd had some Mel. What's that?
Some good news on the Coffee with Captain front too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I'd seen I was looking back. I think Mel had the biggest win. She had a pretty solid win when we were doing the claw polls. We had a couple that were pretty decent, but yeah, it's a good one. But GM, slower morning to warm up. So do us a favor, like, retweet the comment on the room. It helps us out. And look, if you're out there, you have the chance to win BZ polls or cold hard cash, as Jambert will be getting after the swap fees and everything. Jambert will be getting 846 US American dollars today. So sounds like he's going to put that in to work on some other things. And Cap, before we get into before we get too into the weeds on anything here, I know you said you had a cold open topic. I have a few topics on the list today, but what is it is not apparently what your tweet this morning was about. So let's get into it.
Not just kind of silly, nothing important. I also not only have a cold open topic, I'm going to be getting dressed on the show today. So I have a special unboxing to do at some point. We'll let the room warm up a little bit for that because I want to give our friends some.
Oh, yeah. I haven't tweeted about this one. I bet it's the same unboxing I have yet to tweet about because I just haven't had a chance. What's that?
Did you unbox yours already?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I just picked
far larger than I expected, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Larger in terms of size or the large goodie bag?
Oh, no, the goodie bag. Is it? I mean,
okay. Well, you just ruined the surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody's watching the stream or caught it, but no, it was in a good way. First of all, the fit is incredible. So we'll talk about that and do that. The fit is incredible, very comfortable. The problem is,
let's come back to that then. Let's.
Okay, so this is not your cold open topic. Got it. Okay.
No, let's. I don't know when. Maybe like half hour or so. Let's let the room warm up a little bit, and because I just want to give them some good coverage because it's well deserved. So we'll get a few more people in here. If we do genuinely want to give this brand a shout out. So any extra love on getting things warmed up this morning would be greatly appreciated. Those likes, reposts, the bookmarks, all of them do help tremendously. So random. I just had a thought. I shared in the war room like a Greg Olsen clip from Instagram talking about his favorite time during his football journey. This is an NFL, like a guy that played NFL. I don't know if he's like a Hall of Fame potential. I mean, had a Pro Bowl, all pro career as a tight end in the NFL and played at Miami. Like had an incredible run. He shared his favorite time, his favorite experiences during his entire football journey was football Friday nights and high school football. And sure, it's the only thing in my life that I miss. It's the only thing in my life I can't do. Like when I say I love the game, I got chills just watching that video. I've got chills right now just thinking about it. It's hard to describe. And when I was thinking about this morning, I realized I have two core memories that I use the word pandemonium to describe. I've used it. There's one in this space. I've used it a few times. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes, I do, but I'll let you tell the story. Is this when
I mean, do you know the Web3 story I'm referring to? Or you're talking about?
No. I thought you were talking about your high school football story that you've told a few times. But go ahead.
The two times I've used pandemonium to describe a life event. One was the night that Board Yacht Club minted out. It was just absolute pandemonium. I don't know how else to describe that Discord that night. I've never experienced anything like it, and I don't think I'll ever experience anything like it again. Just pandemonium is the only word that comes to mind. The other was following a football Friday night game, and we were playing. It was our last home game of the year, senior year.
This is what I was thinking of, actually. By the way,
we were undefeated at home. I'll go quick because I know I've told it before. Some new people undefeated at home, playing a team from Columbus. Like we were country kids, right? We were playing at the City League school that was the only like City League school in our league. To give you an idea, Gary Trent, not Junior, the old man, had just graduated from Hamilton Township. He the prior year, a few years earlier in basketball, he went 22 for 23 against us. The only shot he missed was a breakaway 360 dunk. So that's like give you an idea of like the athletes at the school. They weren't like the most disciplined kids, but like they were like, I mean, they probably weren't, but to us, they seemed like they're out there running 4.2, 4.3 40s. Like they were insane athletes. And it was kind of like back and forth game. In the second half, every team scored on every possession except for one. My fellow safety caused a fumble. We got that, ended up, longer story shorter, they scored with 36 seconds left to go by. This tells you how much I love the game. As nearly 30 years later, I could give you the entire play-by-play of this final drive. They scored it to go up 7 with 36 seconds left. They kick off. We get it back to like the 18-yard line. First place, trips right, incomplete pass, 31 seconds left. The next play is a tight end screen to me, and I rumbled 53 yards. Couldn't bring me down. When they finally did bring me down, I'm puking on the field. Like I played both ways. I never came off the field. I'm puking on the field with, I think at this point there's 18 seconds left. The next play was a decoy to me. I'm running across like a drag across the middle of the field, screaming ball, ball, ball. And our tailback, who was also all Ohio, he leaks out across the other way. The linebackers follow me. They throw it to him. He gets it down to the 5-yard line. 5 seconds left. The next play we score on go back right back to the same tailback. We score with no time left on the clock to go down 1. Our coach, who is my first mentor in my life, like instilled, like to this day, like when I, like true story, when I have not spoke to him in years. When I went through a divorce, he was the first person I reached out to. I DM'd and had a chat with. Like one of those mentors that like had an incredible impact on my life. Has no idea the depths he impacted me on, and like almost makes me emotional thinking about. Like I'm so grateful I had someone like this that just instilled. Like I had a few other mentors like in college, later college, that also turned me on to success principles and just a different way of thinking. He did this without telling me what he was doing. Like he just instilled a winner's attitude, whatever it takes mentality. And I'll be forever grateful for him. His name was Christian Barnett. He actually, he played in college. He was friends with Robert Smith, who was the Buckeye. Robert Smith was actually the best man in his wedding and vice versa. Anyways, I digress. We go for 2. We get the 2-point conversion. We win 43-42. No time left on the clock to go undefeated at home. We secured a league championship for the first time in 10 years. The week prior, we'd beaten a team that had reeled off a state record at the time, 57 wins in a row. And it was just a culmination of, and then like the pandemonium ensued. Like, you talk about like rushing the field. Like we've had some of those experiences at Ohio State where you win a big game. To be a player in one of those experiences, it's indescribable. And again, 30 years later, one of my most fondest core memories. And it's not like did that win have anything to do, any impact on my professional life? Not directly. Did that 53-yard reception have anything to do with my professional life? Not directly. But why it meant so much to me, Steve, is I had worked so hard for it. And not just me, myself and a team. We like our senior class, we went 3-17 our sophomore and junior years, but our senior class, our team was super close, and we had won at every level up until high school. And we all came together. We all worked insanely hard. Like I put on, like you saw the transformation from fat Chris to mildly in shape midlife Chris. The only other, like between my junior and senior, I wasn't fat, but I was like 160 pounds soaking wet going, after finishing my junior year. And I went into my senior year at 185, basically better shape than I am now. So 25 pounds of muscle, just because of the habits that my mentor instilled at me, my coach instilled in me at a young age. And so when we worked so hard together as a team to accomplish something and then did it, it's just like that feeling. And I like, don't get me wrong, I've had big wins. I've won with teams. We've had a couple of mildly successful exits that were team driven. Nothing still to this day compares to the sense of accomplishment after working so hard for that. And again, like a mid-state league football championship, it means literally nothing except to those players who are part of it. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one from my high school class that even still remembers this, but it's just, I don't even know the point of it other than, the night Board Apes Yacht Club minute out, and in that game against Hamilton Township are the only 2 times I have felt I've been part of actual pandemonium.
The coach story is a good one because it's like that idea of like leader of men and what that means.
Yeah.
I think is something special. I'm actually trying to figure
honestly, out. That's what he instilled in me, not just the habits and the mentality. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be a leader of men. And I truly believe the success I've had in my business career and leading teams is because of that. I only was with him for like 2 years. He was our junior coach and our senior coach. So I was with this man for 24 months, and he changed my life forever. And he doesn't even know this. Like I think part of me telling this story is I need to, like I've shared it with him. He knows, but he doesn't know to the magnitude that he's had. So this is me saying, hey, I need to reach back out to coach and just say thanks.
I was actually double checking to see if Christian Barnett was CJ Barnett's dad, because CJ Barnett is Christian Barnett, and he played, I don't think so, but he played at OSU, was a captain, and now he's coaching there. But no, man, it's a cool story. And like, I love those sort of stories where it's like, you know, the best leaders to oftentimes lead without actually trying to like it's cool as you get older to like read and learn principles and things like that and actually like be able to put them into practice. But I think a good coach, to your point, instills those sort of things in you without having to, you know, explain. Like I've seen this with my kids. I've seen this with coaches. I honestly, I never had great coaches, to be honest, like as far as sports go, when I think about
They're
it.
so important, man. They are so important. Like they make all the difference in the world. And I don't know. I don't know how, like, if you've never had good coaches, like it almost is sad. Like it's just like, because I've had bad coaches. My daughter has had like a good coach or two. I don't know if she's ever had a coach like on that scale. She really does love her lacrosse coach, so that's maybe her comparable. She's also had some really bad coaches, and it's sad because of how impactful they can be, especially at that age. Probably any age, but for me, they're very formidable years, and he truly, like, as much as my parents instilled core values and be a good person and treat others as you want to be treated and that sort of stuff in me, like he instilled like incredible people. My parents were amazing people, much better humans than me. But they knew what they knew. You know, like I don't know if my mom and dad ever combined to make like a 6-figure income as I was growing up as a kid. Like, and that's not like that's not taking a shot at them at all. Just they were told, go to school, get good grades, get a degree, get a job, you're set for life. And that's what they taught me growing up. And I did it. I got straight A's in high school and got a full ride to Ohio State and then I realized that, oh, that doesn't necessarily guarantee success or even a job really. And it was my football coach that instilled success principles in me, and then and again a few other mentors. But yeah, he had, for that stage in my life, and this is again not disrespect to my parents, but he had a profound impact on me, on par with the impact my parents had raising me. And again, they were incredible. It's just they can be, and I share this because like you, maybe people know, but I don't think a lot of people realize the impact you can have on others by your words, by your actions. And I think I share because I'm grateful we have this platform. I'm grateful we have this show. I also like, sometimes I like, legacy is important to me, and it's beyond like my family and my kids. Like what people are going to say about me at my funeral to my kids, right? Like that motivates me. It's a driver. And I think about death and mortality often. I want to have more of a constant reminder to attempt to make that similar impact on other people's lives with intent, not just by happen chance. And I definitely don't think about like, oh, can I inspire someone today? Can I motivate someone today? Can I do better? And occasionally I do, but I like the long way of saying, I think I'm flipping a switch to think more about that consciously. Am I making any sense at all?
No, I think about it consciously all the time. I mean, I'm not going to get deep into it on this platform, but I mean, I don't know that I had at any point in my life super great adult examples, be it coaches, be it teachers, be it any part of that. Not that anybody was wrong. Like my parents were, you know, my dad worked a lot. My mom did what she could, but like in the sense of what you're saying, like didn't really have that and have always sort of created that. So it's something that's hyper important to me with my kids. It's something that's hyper important to how I move and how I act. It's something that's hyper important. Like, and by the way, I could have been better in times like high school. I mean, we all fail, like, but I'm that guy that thinks about that thing that I said in like 3rd grade to someone at the bus stop and was like, man, that was shitty. It's not just kids being kids. It's lack of example. It's seeing what your dad says and all those things. So, yeah, I think about that. It makes a lot of sense to me because I think about that and I think about what that was like and it's one of the things actually Dawn and I have in common in some ways that, so yeah, so it's, I think, without getting too deep into it, I do think about that actually frequently. And a lot of people talk about my patience. A lot of people talk about how I act, how I treat others. That is probably a direct result of everything you just said and how important that is to me and how you make people feel and what you say and how you do it. And it's, yeah, I mean, like I said, like won't go super deep on it just because there's a lot of like personal stuff there, but like it's something I don't talk about a lot. And I think people make a lot of assumptions about me as a person based on certain things, how, where, what I grew up with, etc., without maybe knowing the full story behind it and why I am the way I am, which is totally fine. Like it's like something that I choose, you know, as much as I share about myself on the show, it's things I choose not to share. there are strong reasons why it's important to me to be a good father, a good husband, a good friend, a person who is supportive. And, you know, the examples you said, I do wonder, like, I'm not that I would change things because, you know, I was thinking about it this morning. People think about like, oh, if you, like, I saw a tweet from Sweep because Sweep's a great engagement farmer and said like, hey, if you can go back and change, you know, tell yourself 3 words, you know, when you were 13 or 18 or whatever, what would you tell yourself? The problem is that gets real complicated when kids come into the picture because I don't want to picture a world where I tell myself 3 words and my kids are not here because they're so important to me. But yeah, like there's definitely some deep things there that I totally understand what you're saying. And being that person who is the example for others, especially younger people, is hyper important to me.
Yeah, no, agreed. Real unrelated, but related on what you just said about like, if you were say something or change something that has that butterfly effect or ripple effect. Have you watched The Lazarus Project?
I have not. I don't even know what that is.
I just found it. I think maybe 2 seasons, but I think it's recent. So I think it was like, last couple of years. It's good. It is like, without spoiling it, it's like, essentially there's like some like, not exactly time travel, but some time travel components where, something changes, they save the world, but then the other butterfly effects of other things that change and people that disappear, relationships that don't happen. It's a kind of like it's a fun, casual, but also a deep thinker show at the same time.
There's a funny video. I'll get us out of here on this one, and then we can. By the way, again, like, retweet, comment on the room, and we'll get this thing going. But I saw
since we had a proper cold open, Steve. We've been jumping right into.
We've been getting into it lately. It's been a bull market vibes, but there was I saw a video, like it was like it was like a TikTok someone put on Instagram probably, and they were like, this is my impression of what would happen if I was interviewing for a big tech company after I went back and killed baby Hitler. And like, he's interviewing with the guy, and the guy's just like, I can't hire you, man. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I know JavaScript. I know this. I know. He's like, I can't hire you, man. And he's like, but I do. He's like, it says on your resume you killed a baby. He's like, yeah, the worst baby. He's like, the guy interviewing is like, I don't even know who that is. And the guy interviewing is like, oh, because I killed him. Like, he's like, so going back, he's like, it says here you threw the baby. And it's like, why I can't hire someone like that. But it's like, because everyone's like, go back. Would you kill baby Hitler is the big debate. So, that butterfly effect. He's like, I don't even know who that is. What do you mean, Hitler? But in any case, getting us out of here on the TikTok shit. Cap, I don't know which direction you want to take it. You had your tweet about G-Funk this morning. It's probably worth at this point saying it's more than just news to talk about what's happening at Pixel Vault, as it's people are looking for an acquisition and G-Funk is out and Pixel Vault has made an official statement. And we didn't talk about the hearsay, but it seems like there's some ether scan that might not make it more hearsay. There's some big discussions over the OpenSea airdrop yesterday. I have some thoughts on where my portfolio is going and some things I'm gonna try to do this weekend, potentially. But anywhere you want to start, you hit us with it.
Yeah, let's just knock out the Pixel Vault stuff. I think we're I'm not like the hardcore other side of the OpenSea conversation. I thought
you would be.
I'm in the middle. I see both sides of it, and yeah, let's get into that in a little bit, because it's like I understand where everyone's coming from. It's still some unknown, and so I'm trying to hold judgment until we actually see what is done. But happy to discuss that on the Pixel Vault side, though. Let me go grab the actual post, because this was just the outing at CEO was that this morning?
Pixel Vault, I think last night or
10 hours ago, last night. Yeah, last night. So Pixel Vault sends this. G-Funk is no longer CEO of Pixel Vault. His actions are under review. We will share further updates as appropriate. There's questions like who in charge, all this stuff. I assume that it's the board at this point, and there's no current CEO, probably no interim CEO. It's just being run by the board of VCs would be my guess. Is that your assumption as well? It's funny. Yeah. I just saw he's been nerfed down to 751. That's probably too high. We should, if he's not been slashed yet. Oh, he is.
He got slashed. He's being slashed. There's actually a pretty aggressive graphic they have. They do quite a bit with their AI graphics and their style, and the slashing is pretty heavy.
Is it a current slash? Oh, good. I'll go slash. I'll go participate.
So you go
happened.
slash and you can comment basically on why you're slashing, so you can give your reasoning from your tweet since it's out there. But anyway, keep going. So yeah, drive us down the rabbit hole.
So that, and I believe that post. I'm trying to find who that was the what account sent out the thread. Do you know the name of the account? I'm looking for it. I'm not finding it.
I could probably find it. I feel like it was quote. Is it the one you quote tweeted? I think it's the one.
Oh, yeah. Good call. So this is from two _._0. Essentially, I think they're, like GG 2.0 or Reboot 2.0. So this thread here says, from punks to GG, a masterclass in community betrayal and how G-Funk lost it all. Buckle up, this will be spicy. So here's the background. In 2021, Pixel Vault fractionalized 16 CryptoPunks into 100 million Punks tokens. The NFTs were locked in a vault, and tokens were distributed as followed: 50% to Punks Comics 1 holders who stake their comics, 25% to Founders DAO, and 25% to Pixel Vault. There was no public sale. Ownership was earned through staking or allocation. Token holders shared fractional ownership of 16 CryptoPunks. As Pixel Vault evolved, raised tens of millions of dollars from NFT sales, including a well-documented $100 million VC investment from Michael Lazaro and Adam Bain, things started to get complicated. What started as a simple comic book company and with some interesting staking mechanics quickly spiraled into an unfocused, bloated organization with too many balls in the air. As a way to consolidate the ecosystem, G-Funk and Pixel Vault announced their big move to GG in the Reboot Foundation. Refer to the thread below to see how that turned out. Stepping back, there was real excitement around the reboot and the new token GG. G-Funk, Pixel Vault actively encouraged people to swap their quote-unquote worthless Punks tokens for the new GG. They even phrased it that Pixel Vault will donate its GG in exchange for Punks to increase the conversion rate to the community. How nice of them. The Reboot site, where you would exchange your Punks for GG, even referred to Punks as trash and GG as treasure. Fast forward to 2025, Pixel Vault made the decision to sell the 16 CryptoPunks that backed the Punks token. The entire bundle was put up for auction through fractional ownership platform. However, concerns quickly arose around how the auction was initiated. A major red flag appeared when a community member discovered that the auction had been quietly started without any public announcement, a move that seemed like an attempt to secure the Punks at below market price. After serious pushback from the community, they decided to market it. You can see there the G-Funk sent out, the countdown has begun for this CryptoPunks auction. Punks.auction was the site they got. The auction concluded with a winning bid of 930 ETH, approximately 2.4 million from buyer known as Wayne West 69, a prominent Bored Ape Yacht Club collector. The price equated about 58 ETH per punk on average, which was in line with the fair market value for the CryptoPunks. Pixel Vault announced on social media that the 16 CryptoPunks auction had come to a close with the winning bid, and importantly, the proceeds would go to the Punks token holders as per the fractionalized agreement. In other words, the 950 ETH would be distributed among all Punks token holders according to their share of token supply.
By the way, I'm pretty sure as you go through this, I still have a Punk comic staked, and it says 0 Punk wallet Punks in my balance, 0 Punk rewards, which means I was probably one of the people robbed here.
We're getting to that, yeah.
Sorry.
G-Funk promises to use the funds to support community initiatives and build out the GG ecosystem. But here's where things get interesting. G-Funk's claim that Pixel Vault owned 87% of Punks was not true. In reality, Steve, over 17 million of those tokens, worth 158, belonged to comic stakers like yourself, who still had their comics in staking contract. Pixel Vault, G-Funk made a decision to remove those unclaimed rewards from the staking contracts. Here's those transactions. On top of that, in a time when the auction was live, G-Funk, Pixel Vault deposited the Punk tokens, of which some were not rightfully there, some of those were yours, into a Gandhi vault to secure a loan of 194 ETH in order to bid up the auction. When the auction closed, G-Funk / Pixel Vault cashed out all 87 million Punks tokens for a total of 815 ETH. Some of that was yours, Steve. Then, where did all that money go, you might ask? Surely not the G-Funk's personal Bybit account, where he's been known to make massive leverage bets that were well documented in the Blunt's capital. There's a screenshot here of talking about running back. That was a 7-figure dip. Yeah, I'm broken forever. Well, as it turns out, yes, it did go to his personal Bybit account. The transaction is there. And of course, we can speculate on what had happened from there, but I'll leave that up to you. All we know is that Pixel Vault is closing the doors with the community left holding the bag. GG.
Yeah.
And then
so,
my quote tweet was in addition to that, everything that was shared there, we too were rugged. We had an agreement, a contractual agreement, where we were not only advisors, we did marketing support, we had a sponsorship deal. In exchange for our services, which we fully honored and completed, we were due 2.5 million GG tokens, which at its peak would have been a little over $500,000.
but not just for us, by the way. Like, just to be
Yeah.
clear, I want to
not
be clear about this.
not just
This
our
part of it.
entire our entire organization. We had other creators, the night shift.
It's one of the reasons we don't have a creators. So I want to actually dig in on this for a reason, Cap. Sorry to cut you off, but I think it's important to like give a lot of context here because I was robbed of my personal punks, most likely here. My personal punks like tokens, whatever. I was staking one comic. Maybe I would have gotten a little bit of ETH. Cool, would have taken it, but I'm sure it would have been a smaller distribution. The part that sucks about this is we had a meeting at VCon a couple years ago. And this happens, by the way, more than you think in crypto. I have had deals not paid. I've had deals that people had promised large numbers that were drastically
I'll
reduced.
never do a token only deal again because of G-Funk. Never again. Like I will do token plus cash. I would do immediately vested tokens, but I'm never going to take only tokens in any sort of deal that's got a long vesting. Just not going to do it. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, so VCon 2022, 2023, I can try to remember. I think it's 2023, right? It was in Indianapolis. So in Indianapolis, we're out to dinner.
Should we be blaming Riggs for this? Is this Riggs' fault?
No. Riggs was actually G-Funk and the team hated Riggs, and then he kind of came to Jesus with them. It
was at that event. They shared like one of those pedal beer pub things, and they kissed and made up.
I was also at that actually. That was maybe the next day. It was Drew Austin's pedal beer thing. But yeah, we I mean, look, we had this meeting and they said they want to, get they want GG to be in as many places as possible. They want Reboot to be as many places as possible. We said, great. We go through negotiations with them. They offered us initially 1 million tokens. What Cap and I did was for just 500,000 more tokens, so now 1.5 million tokens, is Cap and I negotiated it for the entirety of the DJ network because we had the night shift at the time, we had lunch break, which was Riggs and team at the time, we had coffee with Captain, and maybe even a couple other shows. So we had an entire group of people. We spent time, money, and energy figuring out distribution, so they were going to get in everybody's pockets and everybody was going to get paid. We had this thing at DGen where when we got a deal, coffee with Captain was always the lead gen, and then we would try to distribute it to everybody else. It actually cost us a lot of money because Cap and I, we were paying money out of the DGen pockets and not paying ourselves because we wanted to pay our contributors. So this was a deal where we were actually going to get a little bit, but we were going to distribute it to everybody else in the network as well. So as a result, by not getting paid this out, a lot of people were like, look, we're not getting paid for our deals. We can't do these shows anymore. So people left and stopped doing shows. Night shift shut down. I know lunch break, I think, had other reasons as well as night shift. But nonetheless, they were running and expecting to get paid. And who knows if they got paid a 6-figure deal of some sort, right? Based on when these things are going to get paid out, if they'd still be here. Either way, we never got paid out the tokens. It just, at one point they tried to write it down with us because things were going poorly.
No, they tried to claw back and we did not agree to the clawback.
Yeah,
they
I was hey, we get it.
So to Steve's point, yeah, they came to us with an offer. We asked for double because we wanted to incorporate the, more of the community. They agreed. And then a year later, they said, oh, they tried to claw it back for no reason. And we respectfully disagreed. And then we just never heard from them again. Yeah.
So never paid us out. And so here we are. And again, it's a thing that happens more often than you thought, but I think people don't think of the downstream effects all the time of this stuff where it's not that they care. Clearly they don't care if, Sean is out there gambling with, this money in Bybit, when they get the punk sale, trying to get it all back or do his thing or whatever. It's clearly they don't care, but it's we spent so much time figuring out token distributions, going with it. Oh, Saturday morning cartoons at the time was on the DJ network. We're going to get them paid out and figure out ways to do it. We were genuinely trying to grow a platform, and we had a couple of sponsors that, didn't come through in that way. And this was one of them. And, unfortunately, it put us in a bad position, and it ended up causing, I think a lot of people to lose money, ourselves included. And it's one of those things where it's to your point, I don't want to do token only deals, and it puts you in a spot where you're responsible for other people when you're running a company. You do this deal, we go through the motions, we're excited, we have this vesting schedule, and then we just don't get paid. So unfortunately, you know,
the crazy thing is, it wasn't a cash deal. Like, send us the worthless tokens at this point. I mean, it's not entirely worthless. I think it's like a $1 million market cap, but I can't comprehend. Like, the only thing that would make sense is he did the same thing he did with the Punks tokens, and just instead of paying out the GG tokens that he had, he went and spent them all. Like, come on. Like, I think, like, yeah, it was over 500K at its all-time high. Today, like, when the last time we sent him an email, I think it would have been like maybe 5K worth of tokens, not cash. Just send the worthless tokens.
Yeah.
It's either complete, like, nefarious intentions, negligence, incompetence. I don't know, but it's just bad all the way around. And
I mean,
I'm not one to public shame people, but he deserves the shaming. I'm not an attorney. This looks like fraud.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. It's like, and it's like, again, like, the amount of things like we don't talk about in these sort of things, I tend to keep to myself because I'm like, look, just want to keep doing business. It's like a lot of these things when we don't get paid out in deals, it's like, there's like example. There's a company that owes me thousands of dollars for work I did for them that just basically went under or was doing poorly. And so I'm like, all right, like, they're not going to pay me back for that time. Fine. Like, I get it. Companies go sour, working in startups. It happens. No hard feelings. Like, things happen. It sucks, but whatever. This is one of those situations where they very well could have set the tokens at any given time based on the deal we signed, just chose not to. We were on the website. We were used as marketing materials. Chris Wall made us honoraries of our apes at the time, which were my PFP was an ape and Capita's PFP is an ape. So yeah, it's a bummer. And it's one of those things that happens and it, like, has downstream effects where, again, the time, energy, money, spent, the excitement, getting on that DGen call and being like, yo, we just spent a ton of time securing a deal. We signed it. It's with a company that's $100 million in funding. So it feels like it's in a good spot. They're growing.
Imagine that. Like, I know maybe people are like, oh, it's silly you guys for taking a token deal. This wasn't just some fly-by-night startup. They had just secured $100 million in funding. If you would have told me, like, did I think that we were going to be cashing out 500K worth of tokens? No, I'd expected the price to go down over the course of time. If you would have told me we weren't going to get any, and the company that just raised $100 million would, for all intents and purposes, cease to exist or completely run out of funds in just a couple years, like, what in the hell did they spend the money on, Steve?
Yeah. I don't know. And, like, I was a big proponent of defending G-Funk when people were like, oh, we bought a $3 million house. I'm like, look, dude works around the clock. Tons and tons of like hours.
Apparently he wasn't working on the clock. He was levering up and gambling the money away.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. Like, then it's a frustrating part about the industry that, like, ultimately, like, you deal with in certain ways, but when it happens in this blatantly, it's like, to your point, it's crazy. It's like, example, we've done deals with the ApeCoin DAO, we've done deals with ApeChain. They pay their bills because they're well funded and they pay their bills and they honor their commitments. There are other deals that I've done with other people and it hasn't always been the case, but this is one where it was like $100 million in funding, major announcements and major partners. And it just went sour and south. So I'll be curious how it ends up happening. But it is, it's something we did. Yes, we did consider other than token only deals. We had that discussion, but they were like assured us on the tokens and we felt good about it. And again, like, part of the problem is, in retrospect, people were like, oh, why didn't you? It's like, they were one of the largest funded companies by all of the major VCs.
And it was normal. Like, they were doing, I mean, I don't know. There's probably, like, we weren't the only ones. What I would like to know, did any of the other advisors get their tokens? Because I think there was like 20, 25 of us. I mean, it was a hell of a lineup, and token deals were normal.
Yeah, I mean, token deals were like a standard thing for a lot of people, and you would just see like this is when we were on the back end of it, but this is when, like, you would see token deals as a very, very normal thing in the space. So, you live, you learn, you move on, but it's you mentioned that, and I think it's like definitely a a pretty it's something that I think you need to you need to figure it out. I guess I don't know. It's and man, I don't even. I want to go. I'm going to see if I wonder if we're even still on like that website, the Reboot website. I don't even know. But yeah, collaborators. So collaborators. Let's see, DGen Network Media collaborators along with Rug Radio. So here you go. It's yeah, it's I don't know that we want to screenshot it, but
no
Bryson
screenshot. It might be needed for a court filing one day.
By the way, in case you're wondering, G-Funk is a collaborator on his own business and technical. But G Money, Pop Punk, Size Chat,
he didn't give himself enough tokens.
Art and Culture, they got a whole bunch of really. So it's like when you see that we got sort of like, rugged over here, it's a pretty good list of people that we were on. Like for us as an up and coming network, it was like, damn, we're with like Dingaling and G Money and Keyboard Monkey and Loopify and like Pop Punk and Seed Phrase and Swicky and Killer Acid and like Dave Krungman and like all these Brian Brinkman and all these big people like Alpha Centauri like who are on this list, like Rug Radio, who was like the premier destination for anything media at the time. So it's like, oh my God, we're on this. Of course it's going to go well. No way this is going to go sideways. So anyway, it's it is what it is. Like it happened how it happened. And I sit here with generally a liquid GG tokens and and
no punk tokens that should have got your share of almost 900 ETH.
Oh, did you see? Get GG tokens. Look where you can get them. So there's that. You can get them on Bybit if you want to. Anyway, so that was kind of the thing. I know Cap put out this morning. We don't usually share stories like that. And in fact, I'm pretty private when it comes to any sort of deals, things like that. Any sort of like, things that sort of business dealings behind closed doors. And trust me, like there's a lockbox of stories like this that are there to share that vary from malicious to just negligence to just, businesses failing. But it's one of the perils of working in this space is that you do deals and sometimes they're honored, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're renewed, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're promised, sometimes they come through. Sometimes you get promised a large amount, sometimes you get a small amount. Like things happen, man, and it's just it's part of working in crypto and part of the downside. So that was like, we'll see what happens. It feels like there actually might be criminal activity potentially. And, I
don't know how that could be at this point. Too many people impacted.
And I use it.
And not for us. Like, I don't know how those VCs are going to put in $100 million and then come to find out that the CEO essentially stole their money and the money of the community and gambled it away.
Yeah.
It's fraud, right? Like
I rarely use the term criminal here because I think we throw it around too loosely, like crime, criminal, etc. It's just something that I don't. And I appreciate everyone in the chat. They're like, sucks, lessons learned, I guess, and everybody's kind of being kind about it. But it's like, yeah, it's an expensive lesson to learn when you could go down to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like literally, like the difference between being like, okay, I'm going to leave Web3 and go get a job in Web2 because I'm not getting paid out, or I'm able to do this for the next 3 years. Like things like that are the difference in some of these deals, right? Like where people like, night shift doesn't go on anymore. Lunch break doesn't go on anymore. Saturday morning cartoons doesn't go on anymore. Those are DJ Network shows that maybe if they got a 6 or 5 figure payout would still be doing shows and kind of continuing that momentum going. So, yeah, it's a tough spot to be, but we're still here. We're still showing up. On another not light note, I will not be getting wrecked drinks today and going through that because, and I put this out this morning, but I'll just kind of share it on the screen as well, but, or I'll just kind of share it and read it. So wreck drinks, to get to them, you have to sign up for Binance US. There are a list of Binance US restricted states. I happen to be on them. I put this out. Apparently there was a typo with my comma being on the next line. So in case you're wondering if I use ChatGPT, there you go. Although I had a typo in a couple of things recently that are showing that, but the crypto policies in the United States are frustrating. I love rec drinks, but can't buy today's drop. Why? Because I live in a state where signing up for Binance US is restricted. Our president has a meme coin, but I can't sign up for the world's largest central exchange.
What do I, so I'm in there. I have, what do I need to do? Do I just need to load USDC I think I have 8 cents in my Binance account. What do I need
You're
to do?
literally asking someone who couldn't even tell you if I wanted to. So if anybody out there in the chat knows, I mean, I know they have some instructions, but like,
I should read the instructions before noon.
yeah, I couldn't tell you because I am a restricted user. So yeah, so that's fun. So can't do
If
that.
anyone knows, if anyone, or can you link me the instructions if anyone has it? I plan to participate, but I have not read the full instructions. I do have a Binance US account, and
I can hit you with it after the show. I think I quote tweeted OSF, who quote tweeted the instructions. So I think if you go down the quote tweet, the sort of human centipede of quote tweets there, you get down to rec drinks, get ready. Here's what you need to do. All details below. So
not going to front run our market update, but it's Binance is telling me everything is red today except for Tether, USDC, and Binance Cash.
not a surprising thing to see. Actually, let's go ahead and do market update. We'll get a palate cleanse from the G-Funk stuff, and then we'll move from there.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on 8chain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, fence alpha, never miss a beat. 8chain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, figures now what's next. Come on, my head top, but you want the time to chop cock for one time.
It's time for the daily market update powered by ApeCoin, the home of NFTs. ApeChain has it all, bringing culture, fun, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. Cap.
Yes, sir. It's, I mentioned, kind of a red day today, but we can't go up only forever, even in a bull market. Hopefully, we turn things around here today, tomorrow, and resume the up only trends. Bitcoin down 1% to 117,868. ETH down 2% to 37.59. XRP down 2%, still above $3. Solana down 3% to 177. Doge down 4% to 21 cents, and Cardano down to 76 cents. Runes bleeding out. Liquidium. Are you still doing Liquidium?
No, I haven't been.
Everything down except for Liquidium over there. I'm guessing that's their actual rune, but I don't know. Memes, other memes, we got Pudgy down 7%, Bonk down 15%, Trump down 4%, Pepe down 5%, Sheep down 4%, Doge down 4%. I actually think Pump is up on the day. Maybe it bottomed. I'm out of that trade and really have no desire to get back in at any point, but it is up 5% on the day. So recovering a little bit. It's still 2.5 billion. FDV market cap's under $1 billion. I guess I don't even know what else to say on the Pump Bonk. I think we're up to like 69 now launch pads on Solana, however. And last but not least, getting up to NFTs here, Mutants up 1% of the day. Nakamiko's the big leader, 39% left on the day to 0.19.
Mike Novogratz
just swapped his PFP to a Nakamiko. Not my journey, but GG to all the Nakamiko enjoyers. Azuki down 2% to 2.12. Game GPT NFT. There was I need to do my voyages if they're still open, but I guess this was a gaming NFT was one of the voyages this week. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, that's what it would be. It's from those rewards, and then they have a bunch of like retweet stuff going along with it as they're doing their gaming week at OpenSea. So yeah.
Oh, I will.
Some low hanging fruit, basically, some like retweet comment stuff, and what? But you have to like buy and swap the NFT first to unlock. So yeah.
Oh, I did get my Moonbird shipment. How did that work?
Is it in that wallet?
It's not.
I don't think I got. I mean, I didn't get a Moonbird shipment, but I
wait. Maybe my. Actually, I take it back. I think my. Don't be mad. Don't FUD me. But I think my Mythic might actually be in my hot wallet still.
Yeah, my Mythic is in my cold wallet, and it's like I wish I had it in my hot wallet because it looked like it was a pretty good shipment. So but I'm not crying for XP. I have 11,000 XP on OpenSea, so I'm doing all right there.
I'll look into that later, but yeah, I think yeah, it is still in my hot wallet. So that when we talk about OpenSea though, the wallet thing is where I have I think I feel a legitimate feedback, gripe, complaint, whatever you want to call it. But we'll come back to that here in a bit. Back to the daily market update. Apes up 2% on the day in a red day. Not quite Nakamiko's up, but up to 2.5%, 2.85% to 12.65. Little Pudgy's down 2%, 1.66. Big Pudgy's down 4% to 15. 08 ETH. Moonbirds still, I think the date dipped to 2 ETH. I saw someone said if Moonbirds dipped to 2 ETH, they would buy one, and they did. So did they dip and jump back up? I've not been following it that closely, but still 2.25, only down 1% on the day. Far World Creatures, I'm assuming this is part of the farm, as well as DX Terminal. We know that is a preferred OpenSea farm based on the number of sales. Guessing that's exactly what both of those are. And that's our daily market update, brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain on top, the home of NFTs and culture. Go. Well, we should. I got other things to talk about on that here coming up soon too. But let's. We will keep things moving. Where do you want to head next?
Let's head to this OpenSea discussion, because I think people got. I know that we're in a bull market when people are getting getting big mad over bags. I had some very angry people in my replies yesterday. So for people who missed it, Adam Hollander, CMO of OpenSea, popped out there. Someone said, basically asked what they take into account to the airdrop. He said, we'll be looking at past history volume from different eras / years. And while I can't make any commitment or share specifics, there are, of course, profiles of users, e.g. somebody who was here during the bull market and never came back, or somebody who showed up now to farm, or somebody who was an OG and never left, stayed through the bear, and is still here. This is being evaluated by the foundation. So it didn't really say anything groundbreaking there. I actually thought that was a relatively smart way to do it. Whereas instead of just being what's your volume, make it work. I said, and there was this complaint saying, this is kind of absurd. Why would it matter if you stayed through the bear or not? If you traded 5 million USD volume in the bull market, but then didn't trade for 3 years, there's no reason you should be in a different or worse category than someone who traded 1 million over the last 5 years. It's also concerning that the OpenSea team still refused to commit to giving the most significant airdrop to the OGs who literally built the company in 2021. My answer is I actually think Adam Hollander and OpenSea are doing this correctly. A real business uses customer segmentation, and better rewards should go to the most loyal and valuable customers. It's also worth noting retroactive rewards rarely exist outside of Web3, but I understand the expectation based on historical use. I won't go into my analogy because people had an issue with it, and I don't really want to. I mean, we can go into it if we need to, but I basically said to the initial point, customer segmentation is the right starting place, and OpenSea is a business, and business should operate in a way that works best for all stakeholders, especially their current loyal customers. The problem here is a lot of people got big mad in the replies and were people are getting pre-big mad about an airdrop that hasn't happened yet. You don't need to get pre-mad. It hasn't happened. But people sitting there saying oh, so you're saying that a farmer who's buying $50 NFTs should get more than historical use. Literally not. Adam literally said farmers are one category. I never said that. I do think historical volume should be rewarded. My point is, I think people who are demanding they want their airdrop, people are tweeting, give me my airdrop so I can sell and be done with OpenSea forever. If I'm OpenSea as a customer, you used OpenSea as a product because it was a safe, familiar, easy place to swap NFTs back in the day. It was what you used it for. There weren't any options or competitors, and you used it for that. And a lot of people got really rich using OpenSea. I know people lost money too. I agree and understand the perspective that historically people should get rewarded for those because that's how it works in crypto. I don't agree that it should be purely based on volume. And I think a lot of the people that are yelling, give me my free money, it's they didn't announce their quote unquote rewards program until they said C is coming last year. There wasn't a token that was coming. People would speculate, but there was never a token that said it was coming before then. OpenSea needs to do what's best for them as a business. And I don't think giving a person who, now if it's a dead wallet, sure, I suppose, but it's I don't think allocating it to somebody who went specifically to Blur, quit OpenSea altogether, and then started using Magic Eden and says, OpenSea's stupid, I don't like it anymore. There's a chance to win them back. I don't think that's their best business decision. I think they should get a reward, but I don't think it should be 1-to-1.
OpenSea made many, many mistakes. OpenSea is to blame for losing a lot of those users. OpenSea didn't support creator royalties. A lot of people left on principle, not just on fees. OpenSea, part of it is should they give out huge airdrops to people who are no longer using their platform? I understand that should be taken into consideration. My struggle or challenge I had with the wording was it's you all go oh, if you didn't trade during the bear market, you're not your rewards are going to get nerfed. Well, no one the overall volume, it fell off a cliff. maybe people collected and they didn't want to sell their assets during the peak of the bear. I just like there's a lot of variables. It's very nuanced. And I do believe that people who spent a time, money, volume, and paid tremendous fees to OpenSea in 21, 22, like they should be rewarded. Now, should those who are still using the platform be rewarded more in kind? It just should be, it should be in proportion, right? Like, because the reality is, if you traded $5,000 in 2024, just looking at OpenSea volume, that'd be the equivalent of trading $5 million in 2021. Now, if they take that all into consideration, and if you just did a couple of trades, if you used the platform at all during the depths of the bear, you shouldn't be dinged for that. Like, it's just like, look, like the numbers. Did some move to competitors? Sure. Some people just stopped trading because it wasn't.
By the way, I think that's fine. I think it's, and they're not saying they're not going to. My point of it is that people are saying one-to-one airdrop based on what you did. I just don't agree with that. I think customer segmentation is important. Like, and again, I know this isn't an example to most people, but like, if you, like, I use the Target example. Like, if you went to Target and then you quit for Walmart and you hated Target and you're done with Target, you don't use it anymore. And there are people who kept using Target, and Target's like, hey, we have this new awesome rewards program. The people who went to Walmart aren't like, why am I not getting disproportionate amounts of rewards from my business that I did at Target back in the day? Like, there are no examples or very rare examples of retroactive programs. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I think in Web3 you should. But my big point is, like, you should segment it and reward people who you think are most likely to continue using your platform, who use your platform, who are using your platform. I think his point was he's just doing customer segmentation in a smart way and thinking of like a business person, which I agree with. Like, I don't think that you should just do a blanket lazy approach and then just give a token to a bunch of people who are going to dump it anyway. I think there are better ways to go about it. Period. Like, yeah, that's all. Which I think is like not that hard of a take.
My math was actually off by like, I think, 0. Like, if you traded $5,000 in 2024 to OpenSea, that would be the equivalent of trading $50 million in 2021. Like, they were in 2024, they were bringing in about $400,000 to $500,000 a month in royalties. In 2021, they were bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties. Like, it's just like the amount of money they took from the space in 2021, 2022. These are just mind-blowing numbers of fees. And yeah, like, part of the ethos here, like in the expectation and their promises of a token for years, or at least a year, is that they
like
would
7
reward.
months. Like 7 months. They said C is coming in like December, I think. I want to say Devin, less than a year, has said a token is coming, is my point. And like, that's where it's, I think people have this memory that they're like, oh, in 2021, we knew token was coming. I also like the framing of like took money from the space. Like, they're a business. They provided a service. They were the only place to go for this sort of thing. They built it when nobody else did.
So when others got built and we had better competitors, people not taking exorbitant fees, the space moved to those platforms because it was better for the users, better for the creators. Some had to move because they were protecting royalties. Like, to penalize those people, it just, I think it's important.
So people stop going to Walmart and used Amazon because it's a better product. Walmart should reward them retroactively, like, because it's a better service, a better thing. So
they're trying to win them back.
I agree with that point. That's what my point. Like, if there is a realistic way to earn them back, sure. But like, if you're asking me like of a win them back versus a like customer who's used it the whole time or has kept their volume there, generally speaking, it doesn't mean, like you said, like there's going to be like low.
No one kept their volume. There's my whole point. No one.
Yeah,
like,
agree. I don't think so. Then it shouldn't matter that they're segmenting customers of people who they deemed as
like
more
no
loyal.
penetration. I think I saw Pranksy did 52 million in volume. That might have been more than the entire platform did the entire year last year. One individual. Like, it's just like so I think it's very nuanced. We don't know all the details. I understand where Adam's coming from. I also understand where these people who paid thousands, if not millions of dollars in fees, they would like to be rewarded for that over someone who's just farming now. And I know that's not what Adam's saying, but I do absolutely understand both points of this one. And I hope, because it wasn't clear, I hope it's proportionate. So it's like, it's not like, okay, this user had 5 million in trading volume in 21. This user had a million in trading volume in 24, like that million, and it's actually a much bigger percentage of actual OpenSea volume and fees. Like they need to take into the space at large and not just say, oh, people left our platform because they weren't loyal to us. Well, that was OpenSea's doing. A lot of it was OpenSea's
Yeah, but
doing.
again, like you could be like, hey, it's Target's doing that they didn't do what Amazon did, or Walmart's doing what they didn't what Amazon did. So people who used to shop there just deserve money. Like I get it, I understand the logic behind it, but I
don't. The Target Walmart example doesn't hit me at all. I don't think it's even close to the same comparison.
Okay, so name me an industry where they retroactively reward. There's status match where people try to get people over.
This is the only place that does it.
Exactly.
So
I don't think
using an analog in Web 2.
The standard is right. So and this is also why we just don't get adoption, because we don't do business like serious business people. But like the fact of the matter is,
why we get adoption. It's why people come to this place to build startups, is because the things can. You have this ability, right? Like this doesn't exist.
Yeah, you have the ability to reward users like Rekt. Like, oh my God, like it's just like if like like Rekt makes sense because going forward, it's like, hey, we rewarded you equity for holding, and we believe that yes, there are businesses that totally make sense in crypto and can do that and can kind of scale it out. But no, I mean, like, it's one of the reasons we're not serious people is people want it. Most of the people complaining in my mentions are people who basically want an airdrop to dump. They're like, OpenSea built their back off my company. Great. Like, totally understand your perspective and get where you're coming from. I'm not saying those people shouldn't be rewarded. I don't think anybody said that. Adam didn't say that. I'm not saying that. But I think people are just saying, like, the expectation is I did a bunch of volume back then, and then I went to Blur and helped drive your platform into the ground because Blur had zero royalties. By the way, also effectively killed NFT markets. Like, okay, like, yeah, like, let's reward those people. Like, that doesn't necessarily jive with me.
The tech has also gotten better. We also have aggregators now. Like, it's if you're a trader or a collector, like, it's not been the best platform. Like, they could say, oh, now we've made changes, it's better. We just recently, someone bought a CryptoPunk off OpenSea and paid 15 ETH more than its lowest listing because OpenSea is just OpenSea. Like, it's just a singular marketplace. Like, there is better tech today. There's like they didn't reinvest in that platform early enough. They stopped customer service. They had an employee who's went to prison for front running.
I don't see how any of that's relevant to the conversation of like
there's a lot of
a person who doesn't use your platform should be rewarded for your platform. Like, that's the point. Like,
I'm saying people who left, they had valid reasons to leave, and now if they're coming back, they shouldn't be penalized for the period they left because OpenSea dropped so many balls.
I don't think that was the implication. I think if people are using the platform and doing volume on the platform and coming back and saying, hey, I'm here, like, I don't think that the implication was, oh my God, like they went and, I think that the implication there is that they're going to look at customer segments of people who were using it at various periods of time. And I think if someone comes back, if someone left for those reasons, I don't think they're going to be majorly dinged. Like, I think but I think it's also like, I think that's where the nuance comes in here. I think if you use the platform, you should be rewarded. If you didn't, you shouldn't. Like, I think it's pretty simple, but like, I think people saying like, oh, I did a bunch of volume back in the day. Like, there's literally someone shared a tweet with me basically saying like, I did a bunch of volume at OpenSea, I helped build their back. I'm never going to use it again. Give me the airdrop so I can sell and get out.
Yeah, I disagree.
It's not really good customer reward. And that's a lot of the
agree.
people in the mentions that I have, the people who are like, basically like, oh, we built your backs on it. It's like, well, if you went and did, millions of dollars on Blur because you were trying to get the most made for your money, good for you. Go use that product because you don't have to pay the royalties to the collections. Totally get it. Blur was taking money, but they were just.
My point is that wasn't the only thing. There was people who literally went to other platforms because they wanted to support creator royalties, because we had projects create new contracts on other platforms because of the actions OpenSea was taking, and they did. Like, I think we can all agree, some of the OpenSea actions absolutely drove people away. It wasn't just for Blur. I didn't Blur farm, but I also didn't appreciate how they were leading in the space.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree.
And also, it's not the current team. They've made tremendous strides. Like, I feel very differently about OpenSea now than I did during 23, 24. But like, they made a lot of missteps, and like, for them to kind of have this, it just like it feels to me like the tone is like, oh, if you didn't, if you ever went and did something else, like, we're not going to reward you as much for people who didn't leave. It's just like, I don't know.
I just don't think that people who went in. Yeah, it's nuanced. I just don't think people who like went to Blur Farm to not pay royalties specifically to creators have a self-righteous position to be like, oh, well, I used you back in the day. That's my point. And I think that's what it is. I agree with, I think we're generally in agreement that like, and that's why, but I just think segmenting and looking at the customer data and saying like, who are the people who are more likely to use our platform going forward is a way smarter play than to say, we're looking at all the historical volume and based on that, we're going to reward or not reward. Like, that's, I guess, my point. And I agree. And, you know, I totally disagree with Cheesy Booth. Blur didn't kill the NFT market. Like, the data looks pretty strongly that, like, you were incentivized to sell NFTs at a lower price because you're going for an airdrop and a farm. And if you line it up, the NFT market was pretty much getting murdered around the time Blur and was kind of taken off the map by it. It's a matter of, it's just a matter of like, when you, like, it's pretty, like, that's the other thing that's cut and dry. So like, people are like, oh, Blur didn't kill NFTs killed NFTs and the bubble pop, yada, yada. Yes, there was a bubble popping. At the same time, people were incentivized to sell for a loss. People were incentivized to buy and sell for a loss and hold bids and continue to drive down the floor. It was just the Blur model. And once and things only leveled off once it became not profitable anymore for the Blur airdrop. Let me do this. Let me more, on OpenSea, because I think it's relevant to what you're saying here. And then maybe we could kind of finish on this and keep moving forward. I'll pull on Joe in a second for after that.
The more you know, brought to you by ENS.
It's time for the More You Know, brought to you by ENS. And back in the day, OpenSea was the marketplace. In January 2022, monthly volume hit over $6 billion. And by May 1st, it saw a single-day record of $2.7 billion traded. That's billions with a B in a day flowing through JPEGs. But the boom didn't last. By mid-2023, as Cap was showing us on the chart there, daily volume dropped to under 10 million, and ETH-denominated monthly volume crashed to 97 million, down 99% from the top. Whales still active. Just this month, one wallet scooped up 45 CryptoPunks, nearly 21,000 ETH, dropping close to 6 million in one go, proving that big players still circle the blue chips. But since launch, OpenSea has seen over $23 billion in volume, probably why people are demanding their airdrop. Pure NFT history. And that was the More You Know, brought to you by ENS. ENS does more than you know, not just anchoring your name across Web3, but anchoring it across the internet. It's your identity, simple, memorable, and unmistakably yours. Security, interoperability, and ease of use. Go to ens.domains to learn more and secure your ENS domain today. Two more things before we go to Joe, just to make this clear. One, the whole point of my tweet and what I was saying is that I think customer segmentation in a real business is important. It's important to know who your potential customers are moving forward. That was the point.
I agree.
I don't think nobody was saying that the farmer should be making more money than people who did historical volume. Again, want to make that point clear. In fact, Adam did as well when he said that farmers would be one of the segments. I don't think anybody's saying OpenSea didn't make mistakes. To Cap's point, like they did many, many things that were critical on this show, on the timeline publicly about, and they could have handled things better. And the last thing I'll say on it is that people are like, oh, I want to be rewarded proportionally to my historical volume. Well, then get ready to watch Pranksy and Dingaling walk away with hundreds of millions of dollars while you get $14 in your airdrop because if you're rewarded proportionally and they don't segment it or at least have levels, you're going to look at people who did a tremendous amount of volume back then, large whales who are going to clean up, and you're going to watch a very, very small airdrop. So it's just, I think a lot of it is like people want their money and they want their money from OpenSea. I get it. I also understand OpenSea is a business and they need to operate in a way that's trying to drive more traffic and volume to them. And look, they have a new token trading platform that probably is going to do more volume if they can drive people towards. They're trying to be an everything app like a lot of these other brands. And so they need to think about how they're going to drive people to do that. And their biggest incentive opportunity is the token drop, period. Like that's the biggest. They have all the attention right now because they have a reward system. They have a token incentive airdrop. So we'll see what happens there. But Joe, go ahead and get in here, GM.
Yeah, hey. Blur didn't kill the NFT market. Okay, NFTs were being market made by DAOs and large traders. And what happened was they kept getting burned by founders and artists. So if you're market making a dozen collections and you have millions, sometimes tens of millions tied up, and a founder can wake up from a fever dream and decide to basically CC0 his entire collection that you have $30 million tied up in because you're market making these pixelated owls, just as an example. You're suddenly sitting there now down $25 million and you're not really happy. And there's nothing you can do about that because you can't control the founder and you can't control the artist. So you're sitting there because you're a serious business person, even though it seems like an unserious industry. And you say, how do we continue to do what we're good at, which is print money, without these idiots and their Twitter accounts and their spaces and their admitting to pretending to be a woman before? How do we get out of this industry of dealing with these unserious morons? And so you take everything that you've learned from market making and you go and you learn Solana, and you basically end up with 6 months of people building out tools, and then you get the token cycle. And that's what happened. And Blur just simply fast forwarded the decline of things that were going to die. So if you're a whale and you can't get customer service on OpenSea because somebody flags a asset that you purchased and they instead respond to you with a bunch of fucking emojis, you're not going to continue to use that product because they're treating you like you're just a moron, and you're going to go and you're going to make money somewhere else. So that's how it went. And that's not my opinion. I've sat with the people who were doing the market making for the tokens. I've sat with serious people because of the thing that I'm building in art, and I wanted to understand how market making happens. And they've walked me through all this stuff, and they left to go market make tokens because over in tokens, you don't have to deal with idiots who are going to crater the entire $30 million portfolio you have in their collection with a tweet. So done talking.
You're not going to find an argument from me on us not being serious people, particularly NFT market. So that I would not disagree with one bit. Name
the fund that lost $25 million on those pixelated owls.
Flamingo.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Mr. Carson.
No. Ryan was never a serious person. No, like Flamingo was running like $1.5 billion in NFTs, autoglyphs, birds, mutants, punks. Anytime you saw a punk cycle run up, that was them. And they were generally doing that because they had a key member who was going to exit some punks. And so you generate the market, people start talking about it, you move assets back and forth, and then the actual asset or three exits. And everybody goes, oh my God. And then that part dies and you move on to what has to happen next. The entire floor of Squiggles was completely supported by them. If you just go back and review everything they were moving, and this isn't me speculating. Again, I've sat with these guys. I fucking flew to DC to sit with them. This is how the cycle is. Every market, from stocks to commodities to NFTs, is market made. Okay. And these are the ways that it happens. The reason it happens here with serious people is because it's so much easier to do it here than it is to do it over in traditional finance. So these markets are supported by people pumping a lot of their money into it. They're supported by tools and bots that are designed to algorithmically trade or to protect the money. And when you have a group of founders who think they're the show and they do completely stupid, asinine things and cost you tens of millions of dollars, you're going to stop working with them and you're going to figure out another way to do the thing that you understand how to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like you're not going to get arguments from me on unserious people in the crypto and NFT market, particularly in the NFT market. And it's one of the reasons I I mean, I have largely moved out of, like, I still like NFTs. I still like communities. I still like a lot of the things that people are doing in the space. I like the creative technology a little bit more. It's what interests me more than most things. Less people around here. And it's one of the reasons I'm moving more into just parking my money places where my money makes more money and holding on to the NFTs that I actually care about and want to collect or hold, and moving out of the rest, because there are serious people who are building some businesses, but it feels like it's increasingly the exception more than the rule. And, the example of Kevin Rose is a great one, where it's like, there are people who had money invested in something, and he said CC0, this is irreversible CC0 summer. A lot of people speculate why he did that, but yeah, or even like the G-Funk example we just used, like a bunch of money was given to somebody who wasn't really apt to distribute or use it. But Joe, go ahead and get back in.
I would just say, like, there's a ton of serious businesses being built utilizing Web3 technology. They're just not on crypto Twitter because there's no value to that. You're talking to an echo chamber who is literally just a bunch of people who are. If you're a trader here or a participant, and this is where you get your money, you're not designed to use a product that's being built, because you need that product to pay you to use it. So you can't actually get a user. You get somebody who's looking to make money. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a person who's pumping money into your business, you have an inflection point, and you have to decide, is it worth 1,000 Web3 wallets so I can give them an airdrop, or should I go somewhere else where there's regular people and give them a product? And like, I think it's really complicated for people who are active here, because nobody wants to say that I pay my rent by trading on these tokens, whether they're NFTs or ERC20s. And like, therefore, I need you to give me the ability to farm your product so that I can then pay my car payment next month. And then what you get is people get really upset if you're not giving them money. And it's like, I'm literally flushing money down the drain then. I might as well just go pay Mario and sit on his space. Like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm trying to hire an engineer, and instead I got to give you millions. And then the VCs, not traditional VCs, but the VCs that start here, like, their entire bag is dependent on that TGE. And so they're not interested in a product. Their exit is the token. And that's how it's set up. And everybody thinks it's going to change, but it's not. You have to either go somewhere else and build for somebody else and then bring good product over here, or you have to dedicate yourself to building for here, but understand you got 18 months and then your thing's dead and you got to go to the next. So, done talking.
Yeah, no, again, like, it's one of the, I'm going to get myself in trouble. So I'm not going to say what I'm thinking here, that aligns with what you're saying. I'm just going to hold on it, but it's definitely one of the reasons I think there is a good audience of product testers if you really want it, for certain types of products in this market. I definitely think that there is a trend where, I mean, look, and again, I know I'm probably going to get no arguments from you on this in general, period, but it's like, I was like, when I complain about things like InfoFi, and I'm like, oh, okay, here's how this might make sense to like scale outside of the space. And like, here's how it could apply if I was a business and I might implement it. But the companies here don't want to do it. They want to push around the same money, get paid heavily from companies that get them talking about it, give them a token distribution strategy, and then drive people to financial products to get into pre-sales, which I've said before, if you're in a KOL round, it means that you've been passed by VCs. It means you've been lapped by VCs, by real investors, by people with big money, by friends and family. And they're basically offering KOL rounds to people who are on the top of vanity leaderboards. It's not great. And it's not the product that is good to escape the space. I think sometimes we just and I think people want to exist around here sometimes just to like move money around the same space, make a little bit of money. And look, it's fun. I like to do it. But one of the things that's been increasingly frustrating for me here as I try to figure it out is like, I get the importance of being in the culture. I'm not saying you shouldn't be for certain products and services, but as an example, like Blackbird, we talk about Blackbird, which is working on scaling, a payments program, a payments network through a loyalty app, through restaurants. Blackbird's not running around on crypto Twitter. The amount of businesses I talk about sometimes that aren't here, that people aren't using, and then you see the infrastructure that's being built, when you see the way that banks are using it, it's like they're not interested in having conversations on crypto Twitter. I'm not saying that there isn't value to being here. I don't like being here. I don't like being here. I do like being here. I like the community. I like being involved with it. But when you talk about like not serious people and serious builders, to your point, I try to explain to people, I'm like, well, what about like, you know, the tokenization of driver's licenses and car titles? And people are like, boring when airdrop. And again, cool, I get it. You're trying to make money, but like the focus that some people and brands have on here, it's like there are serious people here who are trying to build. There are a handful of them, but I think increasingly we find people doubling down on being cool to this group of people versus making an attempt to build something that is going to extend beyond this corner of the internet. And it's something that I sometimes deal with frustratingly, but it is what it is. And it's one of the reasons I don't quite always fit in perfectly here. Joe, go ahead and get back in here.
Yeah, I would say like, I think here is a difficult thing to define because the crypto's young enough that you can meet everybody from every cycle and when they came in. And I think the NFT cycle didn't teach anybody economics. And instead, what it taught was attention, because you made your most money if you could be involved in an attention-driven product and you could get yourself on a whitelist through, you know, like and retweet and be early to the Discord and be active in the Discord. And those are all attention, right? And so there's a crowd that made a good amount of money, but that happened years ago. And they're looking to repeat that product because that's what they know. And then you have, you know, the ICO crowd, and you have the early Bitcoin crowd, and you have the ICO crowd that was between those two crowds. And some of them learned economics, some of them learned tokenomics, but the NFT crowd, like when you talk to VCs who made their bag flipping rare traits, like they don't understand anything about anything. All they understand is the simplest level of a token, which is basically sell token, give me token, I hold token, I have to hold token, now I get to sell token, I make my money, I go do again. And that means that if you get VC raised from them, your product's dead as soon as that token comes out. And they don't really care. And founders who understand it, they'll be repeat founders and they'll take a hit. And for 6 weeks, they'll be the enemy of the space. And then they'll cycle back around and they'll do it again. And that's a problem because so much of the attention is driven towards bad. And until we fix that messaging, we're dealing from a deficit because anything good has to crack through that and has to get above that echo chamber. And then what you end up doing is you end up replicating those problems because you fall into the cycle of having to talk to the same KOLs and it's really funny because none of these people know shit about shit. They can't give you a serious conversation about anything. They can write threads about like, oh my God, this is what the best company looks like. But they don't, then you read it and it's like reading People Magazine for like serious journalism. It's like, you know, sorry to anybody who's written for People Magazine, but like you don't read People Magazine to get opinionated pieces on, you know, Russia and China, right? You read it to find out who's dating who. And like, that's what we have here. We have a bunch of people who are most qualified to talk to each other, talking to each other. And then we have a group of founders who just want to start shit because like they want money or they have an idea. And then they have to deal with a pool of money that thinks it's smarter than it is because it traded really good rare Solana traits for like 6 weeks and made a bag. And now it thinks that sending out a $10,000 or $5,000 check makes it equal to Sequoia. And like now you're stuck. And so then the people who stay in the NFT one, they get really, really drawn out because it's exhausting. But there's all this other cool shit that happens, right? Like on my accounts that aren't associated with US NFT crypto Twitter, I see all these amazing builders, you know, and like they're from all different places, including the US. But my algo on Twitter with this account is just inundated by the same freaking people talking about the same shit every 6 weeks. So I'm done talking. I got to go run.
Yeah. I mean, enjoy your run. And I mean, there, like you said, there are different types of people on here, but it's about reward system and what is rewarded oftentimes. And a lot of times it's about what the, like when you incentivize bad behavior, Kaido is an example. Early on, incentivize bad behavior, incentivize farming. Like we talked about, like the fact they're like, oh, we're going to try to get rid of farming for people who are spreading, misinformation, because it incentivized a big misinformation tweet. If you had a account connected to Kaido, boom, you jumped up. It incentivized bad behavior in how people are, talking about like, oh, let me talk about products and protocols I don't get to get a big airdrop and create content. People who create content about creating content who don't actually create good content. Like when the incentive loop is, it's sort of like the, a lot of the young sort of like the TikTok generation, when people are like, oh, why are these people all doing stupid things? And then something bad happens. It's like, well, when you incentivize bad behavior and reward it, then people will continue to do it and see it as a reward system. And it's like anything else in life where here, particularly 2021, people were rewarded by certain types of behavior and they're going to repeat that. So yeah, it's like a lot of people see the token generation event, or even like how often in 2021 and 2022 did we see the people who sold out their collection? Like they work really hard marketing to get their collection sold out so they make the money. And then it's almost like the job's done. It's like, no, that's when the job starts. And there are simple people, are smart people who generally do that. There are people who continue to do it. It's rare and more in between. And maybe it's just a little bit of startup world and there's bad founders and bad people in general. But yeah, here it can be kind of rough. And again, I could go down a lot of rabbit holes on this that I'll kind of stay away from. But yeah, I don't disagree with you. It's like, it's sort of like when I say we're not serious people, sometimes it's stuff like this that matters and why I feel that way. So anyway, I'll kind of leave it at that. But I don't know, kind of my thoughts on that. Joe, thanks for coming up. As always, appreciate you, sir. Cap, I don't know if you want anything on that or have any other next topic you want to hit on, any other, like what do you got up next?
I mean, I don't disagree with the two of you. Fair takes. I also don't think it's that doom and gloom. I agree with Joe. I think there's a lot of incredible people here, and it's easy to get jaded. Dort even had a good comment in the chat. It's like, I think it's different to be a participant than it is to work here. And sometimes when you're working hard and doing what you believe to be the right thing and you see others winning big, it's just like, it's a space that can absolutely mess with you mentally. We talk about, even in bull markets, you hit a big win and you sell, you take profits, and then the thing 10X's from there and you're beating yourself up after you just 10X'd a win. Like it is a space that will mess with you mentally. And is there slop? Is there disingenuous people? Sure. I wouldn't be here if I also didn't think that there was a massive amount of incredible people, both very talented, both very intelligent, building really cool stuff like our friend Joe. That's real businesses being built. Excited about this rec drink drop today. Like I still do believe it is at the cutting edge of tech and finance, and I'm grateful to have a front row seat. I certainly can appreciate and understand those who get down on some of the activity that takes place here, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
No, it's all doom and gloom, or else we both wouldn't be here. Obviously, I think part of the issue I run into is like even things like we talked about earlier today. When you start to work here and see some of the behind the scenes stuff, and you're like, man, like we had a conversation that we're not going to call out about people in the space we know were doing some probably less than ethical stuff, and it was working really well for them to continue to be successful. And we were like, look, like we can't necessarily prove it through, but it looks like the evidence is pretty strongly there. And you see that and you're like, well, that's kind of discouraging from somebody who's trying to just do things the right way. It turns out I'm just an idiot. So it can get discouraging with that stuff at times. And so I just, yeah.
You're at the text me. I'm not, what else are we not going to talk about? It's not clicking in my brain.
I'll text you. But it's one where we can't necessarily prove it through, but it was a pretty obvious one. But I'll get you, I sent you a text, but in any case, other topics I had on yeah, right? Like to the tune of millions. And so anyway, it's a whole nother ball game that I don't want to get into because I'm not, again, when you can't prove anything through, people say what they're going to say, but you know what I'm talking about now. And you see stuff like that, and you're just like,
Yep.
well, fuck.
I hear you.
Should I just
Yeah.
play the game? Should I just, do the unethical stuff and whatever? And so anyway.
I maybe I'm naive. Maybe it's I'm playing a long game, and I think over the long run, like how we've been playing the game will come. It may not be this year, may not be next year, maybe a decade from now, but I believe the relationships we built in doing things to the best of our ability, the right way. I think I do think karma's real. I think the scales of balance are real. I just sometimes it's hard to connect those dots looking forward. I have a few other things like 9:30. I keep checking the chart. I'm waiting for I don't know why we didn't get a green candle. Q2 GDP numbers estimates are up 3%. We were expecting 2.5%. So good numbers today. I don't know. Doesn't look like the market is responding in kind yet, but also just saw White House crypto report does not include details about Bitcoin reserve. Anyways, some macro news that doesn't seem to be doing anything price action wise yet, at least not what I'm looking at. But quickly, Steve, circling back to that Mythic, you didn't miss out on much. It was 50 XP for the Mythic.
Oh, okay, all right. So I had like one Mythic left. So
I was expecting like 5,000 XP, and I was like, oh, it's 50 XP. So but it was the positive is that now that Mythics are not zero, I should move it out of my. I should be responsible, move it into a wallet, which leads me to my other point. And this is where I do believe I have a legitimate, I'll call it a gripe, but feedback. Like I understand why they're not allowing people to count multiple wallets, but the tech is there. They can do a little bit of work and find out if it's farming, if it's wash trading. Like did I trade significantly through 2024? No, I didn't, but I have trades on the platform. I didn't leave. I just didn't trade that much, but I still used OpenSea. Unfortunately, most of my mints and maybe a lot of flipping early in 2021, I used my main wallet. But then if you look at, actually, I'm going to go back and look, I probably did, I don't know, double-digit ETH, maybe triple-digit ETH in volume over those course of years. Not on this wallet, because those sales were coming out of other accounts, not my hot wallet. Like I basically buy and transact and I move. And if it's if I sold something, especially if it was any serious volume, it wasn't out of this wallet. It was in other wallets, and it's going to look like I abandoned the platform. I didn't. I just was doing proper hygiene, proper wallet security, and that is very frustrating. That I'm not going to get credit for my biggest sales. That's frustrating. I don't understand why they're doing that.
I'd be surprised if wallets like that are not going to be linked though. That's one of those things where it's I know some people I agree that's a thing that needs to be fixed, because I'm very similar, and even if they just have bonuses for NFTs and things. So you know what I mean? It's like there has to be a way to link
very easy wallets. To tell. Go. I mean, it's very easy. I'm not farming my vault wallets, but they're linked. It's my accounts. That's where my volume took place. So if you see 0 on this wallet that's linked now, it's not 0. There was a 13 ETH sale on this other wallet. It's all me. I'm not doing it to farm. It's just how you're supposed to operate in this space with multiple wallets for safety and security. So I don't know, that piece is, I hope they figure that out. And
I'm less concerned about that piece.
I mean, I don't know. I am. The way they've communicated, it doesn't sound like it's one wallet. They're doing it to prevent. So because that would be frustrating if they don't give any credit for, because honestly, after 2021, I'm going to say probably the overwhelming majority of my volume was in the account that's not linked.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a, to me, to your point, that's one that I'd be surprised, just knowing how crypto savvy their team and the people they have on it are. Maybe it'll be the case. I just would be very surprised if when all things come down, I'm not getting credit for my cold wallet or my medium wallet or my hot wallet altogether. I mean, that is, to your point, proper wallet hygiene. It's one of the reasons I was frustrated with 8fest Bored Ape Yacht Club in 2022 is, you remember they were one wallet. It doesn't matter if you have 27 mutants and 47 apes. And it was well, wait a minute. So I literally moved my mutant to one wallet, kept my ape in the other wallet. And it's like, now I'm moving around assets that are hyper valuable because I want to get a second ticket so I could potentially get a second night of something when the advertisement was, 4 nights of this and then 2 weeks before they did that whole thing. So I agree. That's a very important factor.
I know you can link multiple wallets, but my understanding is like the only wallet they're counting is your primary wallet. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my understanding. That's how I've interpreted it. But
I think we got a long marathon to run on this one too, where it's like people are. It just shows how excited people are about the airdrop, though.
Why? Again, we don't need to figure out now. But I can't do my connecting your ENS. It says it's locked for me. I don't know why.
Because you need to do the first. You need to do the gaming asset first. They have a tier of things, so you need to buy a $5 gaming asset. I think is the one that they had. And then after you buy the $5 gaming asset, it unlocks the other quests.
Okay.
They've done this a few times where like the action unlocks the free quest. So like a paid action unlocks the free quest. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I do have plenty of time. So feel free to take wherever you. I don't want to forget. I do want to do this quick unboxing whenever we get a second.
Yeah, let's do this. Like one piece of news that I'm going to pin up top that I thought was interesting. I just saw I don't know if this is it looks like as of today, July 30th. So funny how people change their minds on certain things in a very quick way. So I pinned it to the top of the space. I'll kind of share it as well. Coinbase and JP Morgan have signed a deal to connect your crypto and bank accounts. It'll enable users to do bank to wallet connection. Huge. Customers will be able to transfer Chase rewards to Coinbase account and use Chase credit card to fund coin balances, with the stock for the first time. I kind of like my take on this was roughly 18 months ago. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin a pet rock that does nothing but fund fraud and money laundering. Now they've inked a deal with Coinbase to link bank accounts and crypto accounts. TradFi is putting down their swords against crypto. You love to see it. And,
I would love to know what Dimon really thought. Was he just attempting to protect his entity? Did he really think that about Bitcoin? Like, I have a feeling he probably saw this coming, and that was just his defense mechanism to try to FUD it so that it didn't get favorable regulation.
He always was supportive of blockchain, but he said that crypto itself was stupid. I think I think he just didn't see the business opportunity, didn't pay attention to it, thought it would go away. And by the way, my guess is he's currying favor to the administration. At the time he said that 18 months ago, we had a administration who, by the way, Elizabeth Warren still thinks the Genius Act is going to crush us the way the banks did. And because more regulation apparently is bad to figure out goalposts for things. She was talking about building an anti-crypto army. 18 months ago was a very different environment. We have such short memory. It's like I say this regularly because I try to remind people, Bitcoin's like 6 months into being over 100K at any point ever, and then it dropped back down for a little bit. Like, we act like Bitcoin over 100K is just a given, which it feels like now, but it's not that long ago it wasn't over 100K. So it's just kind of funny that we just take that for granted. It was very different around here. And so, to me, I think that's what it I think that's where we're at. I think he was probably currying favor to the administration, and he didn't have a business opportunity there. And I think that's what was probably happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. Good to see, though. I mean, just one more step further to this. It's funny, like you say, he likes blockchain tech, not crypto. Like, I do think we're getting closer and closer to a world where it's just the financial market. Some people will have crypto dollars. Some people will have fiat dollars. Like, it's just, I think the worlds are getting close to blending and not, the tech being completely hidden and more options.
Yeah, it's good. More options are a good thing. You love to see it. So, yeah.
So a couple other quick announcements. I do want to do this unboxing. I pinned up top. Are you doing the Sugartown poker, slub poker thing?
Couldn't because I have to pick my son up from camp on multiple days, and I have some important meetings I got to take, so can't do it, unfortunately. Maybe I said hit me with the next one. Is what I told the person recruiting.
Going to splash some chips around at 1:00 today. I think I'm going to join a stream with our guy, Mr. House. and have some fun with that. So wish me luck. I haven't sat at a table for a bit, but looking forward to it. Should be fun. I also pinned up top Dort's post on Bathroom Blitz by Command Line. That premieres today on Other Side. Do we know when? Do we know what time that is, Dort? And is there anything we need to do to be ready for it? Is this one is not just the test, but it's open for anyone that wants to get into play, is my understanding. So I am genuinely excited about that. The feedback and what I've seen has been pretty promising, and including some people not even in the club, but are having some fun with it. So looking forward to that. I think that's a big step for Other Side. And then, the liquid gold stuff, this Binance drop. I found that post. It's pinned up top as well, as far as like what you need to do to get ready for it. It happens at noon Eastern today. The details again pinned in this post up top. You do have to have your Binance US account. You got to be in a supported region, so you got to be in one of the states that's supported. You will need to add your Binance US ID at checkout. So make sure you go and do that. Go into your Binance account, check your dashboard. My user ID said verified next to it. I thought that was good. And then I went back to another page, and I still had one step to do to complete the questionnaire. Basically, there was like 4 steps in it, and I was at 4 of 4. So I did that, knocked that out real quick. Just for anyone that's wants to participate in that, make sure you do that now. Don't wait until noon. I would definitely get your account verified before the drop. And then the details at $69.99 per case. Free shipping to the U.S. addresses in those supported regions if you grab 5 or more cases. Payments in fiat and crypto. And for each case, you'll earn 25,000 Drank points with a limit of 150 cases per order. Cases are 24 cans. My plan, I'm going to go for 5 cases and get the free shipping, and let's rack up 125,000 Drank points and see what that equates to. Hopefully more than $350 in rect.
Wish I had done it. Wish I had gotten that many on the last drop, because I know those are coming down here pretty soon. That distribution is coming in the next couple of months, and yeah, love to see it. Good luck on that. Why don't you hit the unboxing, and then maybe we wrap from there. That was like kind of my main, because I have some other things that I had on the list, like, that are evergreen. Like my XP on Abstract was down despite being in a bunch of memes, so trying to figure out how I want to play that. Whether I still want to play the Abstract.
Mine just doesn't move. It's like the same. I did add some stuff, not significant, but it's basically just I'm like 7 to 8K every single week, and like it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm in the top 1% every week. Like I
don't know if I believe those top 1% numbers, though. I got to look at those things. It says that, but like, I wonder about like what top 1% really means, and if it's just including anybody with an Abstract account, so everyone gets to say their top 1%. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Meta 8 again, the banker bot tips. I need to follow up with this. I've said it a few times, but they did get listed on Coinbase actually tomorrow. He sent us $6.90 of banker each. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and I genuinely mean it. I want to get the team on, and we need to do a deeper dive on Banker Box. I think what they're doing is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's a cool concept, and it's kind of that idea of like being able to use it's just the idea of being able to use like send crypto via that sort of like the text or whatever, or via Twitter is very interesting. Nah, man, I just tweet money. I love that. No, I think like, yeah, like the XP on Abstract, I'm trying to figure out. I'm at the same place. I'm at about 18,000 every week lately. And then, again, evergreen topic, but I'm getting ready to just park some money and allocate it and just leave it flat and go from there. But yeah, you have a unboxing to do. I already unboxed quietly. I need to actually post about it. I have not gotten a chance to post about the unboxing yet. I should though, because it's just, there was a lot in there, so it's a lot to get into one shot. But
so
anyway,
also at noon is that Bathroom Blitz. It's a 2-week season that kicks off today, so it's not like a rush. But this is on my like daily activity for the next 2 weeks. I'll get in and see today, like what sort of time do I power block, a half hour? Do I just jump in when I have casual? But I'm absolutely planning to participate for the 2-week season and then come back up for air after that 2 weeks and see, okay, did it was this worth my time? Did I have fun, most importantly? And was there any rewards for ranking on that leaderboard? But should be fun. Appreciate the details. Dort, big day today, starting at noon Eastern. So yeah, we're gonna unbox this thing.
So you have
I
no
think
idea what's in this thing, huh?
I don't. I have no idea. I think people have probably already guessed based on the teaser and your hoodie.
Big old bag to start
Big
with.
bag of goodies. I think that's, make sure I didn't leave any. Yeah, that's good. So big, sweet, high quality bag from our friends over at the Good Vibes Club. Let's see what we got here. This is, I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke. It is a nice, ooh, this is soft.
That one, oh, is it a t-shirt or the
This is
sweatshirt?
the t-shirt. This is super soft.
Wait
This
till
is
you get to it. The quality
I don't even know
of
what
it,
the material is.
dude. I'm telling you, like the quality. The first thing I did was DM them and was like, dude, the quality is incredible.
I can't. This is like the first time I feel like I'm getting old because I can't read the fine print. Steve.
By the way, do you know if there is a like on other side? Does anybody have instructions on some of this stuff? By the way, that's the hoodie. That's another, like, the t-shirts are all great. Steve K. Bark was taken on other side. I'm not sure I understand exactly what's going on there. Like I don't think anybody's registering my name. Like I'm not.
So
that
there was some. Did you register it previously?
I might have.
So on the last time, there was some people who said like there was just the last time we got into the bubbles test, there was it appeared like there was a little glitch that looked like your username was taken, and Dort said he had to register a new one, but then eventually it came through. So I'm guessing you probably still have Steve K. Bark. It's just there was a little this. I can't get over that. I'm not even like ever. I can't. This unboxing is the poorest unboxing ever because I can't transpose the quality through the video. But I'm like, I'm not even kidding. Like it might be the softest t-shirt I own.
Where do you get to the hoodies? Is that's the one. There's 100% chance I'm going to spill coffee on that thing, but it is it is the back, and like my son, who is very particular, just goes, "Yo, dude, that's a sweet hoodie." Like, so
are these just doodles? Or are these these badges? What am I looking at here? Just different.
That I don't know. I think they might just be
stuff. Maybe I don't
By
know.
the way, also on other side, did you ever figure out how to get your avatar properly set onto your ape? I'm not sure. I was playing around with that too. Anyway, keep going.
In past runs, yes, but the last one I did with the bubbles, it was the Anon robot, and my user ID was not there either. But we weren't the only ones having that issue, so hopefully it's. Cyrus says you can see the shine in the softness. Like these really is just really, really high quality stuff. So
by the way, Machiavelli has a coda because I just logged in and I see Machiavelli standing there in a coda. So Machiavelli, if you're out there,
Ooh,
us
I
and
love it.
Figgy are in the same spot.
Yeah, and they hooked us up. Some cool pins.
Good pins.
Double hoodie. I thought I got a white one and you got a black one.
So this is the one I'm wearing right now. Yeah, you can show the back if people want to see what the back of the hoodie looks like. So it's got the super rare on it, and then it's got the back, which has the NFT NYC, which I had to leave early and couldn't make it. So it's a good one.
Yeah. Also, again, incredible quality. This thing is just loaded. It keeps coming. It's like the never ending.
That's what I was saying. Like, I want to get a shot of like the haul, but there's so much. It's awesome.
I thought they were sitting like a shirt.
Another t-shirt. So the
and then the same design as the hoodie.
By the way, Vibetown Social Club plays. Like, it
Yeah, I
sounds like
agree.
it's something that's cool. Like, if I wear a white hoodie with like a nice pair of jeans and a good pair of like kicks, like
I might
it looks like
be
I'm
able to.
cool.
I think I could get away with both of these at my daughter's lacrosse tournaments, school events and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to Chris and Tyler. You all are legends, and greatly appreciate it. I will be rocking those on stream on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, it is honestly like, wait till you put them on. Like, it's comfortable. It's well done. I went with, you were medium or did you go large? I went medium.
Yeah, I think I went medium too. Because I said large. Yeah, they got medium. So I said large if it's going to shrink a lot, but otherwise
You're going to like it. So I went medium, and I'm probably still not going to put it in the dryer just out of fear, but I went medium and it fits incredibly comfortably. Like, it's the slightest bit oversized in the best way possible. So like the white one, I love wearing when I'm not going to have coffee or food because I'm a total mess. But yeah, I am a fan of the sizing on it, the quality of it. It's comfortable. Pop it on. That's the one I like. Yeah, that's the one I like right there. Like that. Oh no, that's the t-shirt. Sorry. I thought you were putting on the hoodie. The white hoodie is phenomenal. But I haven't even tried the t-shirts on yet because I pretty much wear hoodies because my basement is like 14 degrees Fahrenheit. But very much looking forward to rocking it around town because I think it's a good look. Yeah, it's a good look. I mean, it looks good.
Really nice. Good. I'm also very particular on my necks, and this is quality, going to hold up for a while.
It's not a bacon neck and it's not a choke neck, both of which are bad.
Yep, perfect. No, it's like, again, not blowing smoke, insanely high quality. Really appreciate it, and yeah, we will wear on a regular basis.
Yeah. By the way, respect that Diego's always on the grind and asking me where my Klanos plushies are. I mean, look, I like Klanos team. I don't know the Klanos shore. I don't know any Klanos plushies. I believe they're all sold out on the website, so I got nothing as far as the Klanos.
You still have a Popkin, right? Or no?
I have Popkins. I have multiple Popkins. The whole family.
I saw a bunch of unlisted yesterday. I don't know if it was the news of David hire or what, but I saw someone tweeted a bunch of Popkins getting unlisted.
Yeah, so we'll figure out if we can get David on the show here pretty soon. But look, Cap, I know it's 9:50, but I got a meeting-filled day and some things that I got to work on today. And then, man, my I love it. I don't see him very often, but my cousins keep coming through town. So a couple weeks ago, I had one set of cousins come through town, have another set of cousins coming through town, and I got to do something there today. So got to get my act in order. So we will see where I end up netting out there on the day. But got a lot going on. Any other things before we jump out of here?
Don't forget to go /GFunk on Ethos. Make sure you get registered for all the happenings today. Join us in the other side, Bathroom Blitz. I'll be jumping in not at noon. I'm going to be doing the Rect Liquid Gold drop at noon Eastern on the dot. And then I will, as soon as I secure my, hopefully 5 cases, then I will roll over to the Bathroom Blitz. And I feel like there was something else for today, but I'm not seeing anything else in my notes. So that is probably it. We got a couple other claw pulls we'll do tomorrow or Friday, and
we should reach out and get them present in this show, actually, just to make sure Drew and we'll pick a day. Maybe we do it Friday for funsies, and we get make sure they're here, Drew and Husker. But yeah, man, good news. If we've got anything, we'll be back here to do it all again tomorrow. So
oh yeah, and then so noon we've got Bathroom Blitz, rink drops, and then the poker thing starts at 1. That's my afternoon.
Enjoy that. So you have a busy day as well. But thanks everyone who came. Thanks everyone who came through this morning. We appreciate everyone who jumped through. We will talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.